All right, let's talk about Google's Gemini 4, because this is shaping up to be way more than just another update. We're talking about a fundamental shift in what AI can even be, moving from a smart analyst that just answers your questions to an autonomous agent that actually gets things done for you.
Have you ever felt that frustration? Because if you have, you are definitely not alone. We've all seen these AI models that can write a perfect email or explain some super complex topic, but when it comes to that next step, actually booking the flight or ordering the supplies, they just can't. Well, this is the exact problem that Gemini 4 is being built to solve. Okay, so let's really dig into this because this is the core of it all. We're moving past the era of the chatbot. Gemini 4 is designed to be a doer, an entity that can understand your goals and then take real action in the digital and maybe even the physical world to make them happen. So its key here is that this isn't just a smarter model, it's a completely different kind of model. So here's how we're going to break it all down. To really get a handle on this change, we'll first look at how we even got here. Then we'll unpack Gemini 4's incredible new powers, see how it stacks up against its predecessor, explore what this all means for you in the real world, and finally, think about where it fits on the path to AGI. So first, let's get some context. The whole Gemini series has been evolving at an absolutely breakneck speed, and understanding that rapid-fire progression is really the key to seeing just how big of a leap Gemini 4 is. So think about it. It all kicked off back in late 2023 with Gemini 1, which was built from the ground up to be multimodal, handling text, images, and a whole lot more. Then Gemini 2 came along and added what Google called agentic capabilities, basically teaching the AI to start taking action by using tools and running code. And that really set the stage for Gemini 3, which brought some seriously expert-level reasoning to the table. And let me tell you, Gemini 3 was no slouch. It scored a staggering 91.9% on a reasoning test that was literally designed to challenge PhD-level experts. So this model could already think its way through incredibly complex problems, which, you have to admit, set a very, very high bar for whatever was going to come next. So how in the world does Gemini 4 build on that? Well, let's get to the main event, its new powers. Based on some pretty credible leaks and hints from executives, we're expecting 4 core features that could be absolute game changers. Okay, first up, and this one is a huge deal, is physical world modeling. Now, this is a massive leap. Instead of just analyzing the pixels in a static photo, the AI is being trained on these vast amounts of video data. Think platforms like YouTube. And this teaches it about physics, how objects actually move and interact, and the basic rules of cause and effect in the real world. And here's why that matters in practice. A previous AI could look at a picture and say, yep, that's a robot on a table. An AI with physical world modeling can understand an instruction like, guide that robot to pick up the blue book, because it actually comprehends 3D space and action. It gets it. Next, Gemini 4 is pushing toward what some folks are calling Omni-Models. The whole idea is an any-to-any capability, so you could give it text or an image or a sound clip and get back a video or music or even a 3D model. It just breaks down all the barriers between different types of media, making creation feel completely seamless. Now, this is where that agent part really comes to life. Leaks are pointing to an integration of something called Project Marinator, which is a system that can watch what you're doing, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then just autonomously execute the steps to get there. So it's not just suggesting a travel itinerary, it's actually booking the plane tickets and reserving the hotel for you. And finally, we've got personalized assistance, which seems to be inspired by Project Astra. You know how current assistants have the memory of a goldfish, and you have to re-explain context over and over? Well, Gemini 4 is designed with persistent cross-device memory. It learns your preferences, it remembers past conversations, and it gives you help that's truly tailored to you because it's been paying attention. Okay, so with all those new powers in mind, let's get to the verdict. How does Gemini 4 really stack up against Gemini 3? Well, the difference isn't just about performance, it's about purpose. First off, the scope is just completely different. Gemini 3 is the ultimate digital analyst. I mean, it can code, analyze data, and reason through these super complex documents. But Gemini 4 extends that into the real world. It's designed to be a problem solver that can actually interact with and influence physical systems. The behavior also changes in a really fundamental way. Gemini 3 is reactive. It just sits there and waits for you to ask it a question. Gemini 4, on the other hand, is designed to be proactive. It might see an upcoming flight in your calendar and just ask if you want it to check you in. It acts more like a personal concierge than a search engine.
So to kind of sum it all up, with Gemini 3, you have to micromanage its tools. With the Gemini 4, it figures out the tools on its own. Gemini 3 feels like an upgrade to a few specific apps, whereas Gemini 4 is meant to be the intelligent fabric woven into the entire Google ecosystem. The goal itself shifts from just providing brilliant answers to providing complete solutions.
Now, this is all super cool tech, but let's get down to brass tacks. What does it actually mean for us? Let's break down the real-world impact on developers, our workplaces, and even creative fields. For any developers out there, this could be a total game changer. Just imagine a single Swiss Army knife API that gives you language, vision, and action capabilities all in one place. You could build a fitness app with a virtual coach that watches your form through the camera, or an e-commerce site with an AI concierge that guides customers through the entire buying journey. And in the workplace, we could be looking at the beginning of a true digital coworker, an AI that doesn't just suggest edits, but drafts an entire legal contract from a simple prompt or even debugs its own code. It's about automating these really complex workflows and getting proactive insights from your data before you even think to ask.
Now, for anyone in a creative field, this is where things get really wild. A marketing team could ask the AI to generate a full campaign concept. We're talking slogans, images, and even a sample jingle. A game designer could sketch a character on a napkin and have the AI generate a starting 3D model. This could just dramatically speed up the creative process, from a spark of an idea to a working prototype.
So finally, let's just zoom out for a second. A leap this significant really begs the question, where is all of this heading? What does Gemini 4 mean for that long-term quest for artificial general intelligence, or AGI? Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google DeepMind, has talked about this idea of Proto-AGI that could emerge from combining all these different expert systems into one single unified model. And Gemini 4, with its incredible blend of reasoning, world modeling, and these new agent abilities, really looks like a concrete step in that direction. And that really leaves us with one last, and I think pretty crucial question. This technology marks a really clear shift. We're moving from an AI we consult for information to an AI we start entrusting with tasks, with decisions, with whole parts of our daily lives. So the question is no longer just, how powerful can AI get, but also, are we ready for it?